Well, I want to say good morning, everybody. As I look out my window today, I think it's a great morning to talk about baseball, right? We've got an exciting session coming up for you right now. We're going to meet the entire coaching staff for the 2022 WooSox season, including our new manager, who we're going to bring on in just a few moments. I'll have an opportunity to ask him a few questions, and then later on, you'll have some questions that you can submit through the chat function of your Zoom. We put together this introductory video to say hello and to welcome our new manager, Chad Tracy. Let's take a look. Let's roll the video.
Hi, it's Charles Steinberg, welcoming you warmly to the wonderful world of Worcester. Chad Tracy.
Hey Chad, Dan Ray here.
Hey Skip, Alex Richardson here from the WooSox Foundation.
Hey, what's going on, Skip? This is John Schreiber.
Hey Chad, I've been given a chance to take a minute or two to formally congratulate you on being named the manager of the Worcester Red Sox, Boston's AAA affiliate. Mom and I are extremely proud.
Hi, Chad. Hey Chad, we just wanted to jump on here and let you know how proud of you that we are.
I love that you're a baseball lifer. You've been all over the place, all over the country, and now you're going to get to see really good baseball with really good baseball fans at Polar Park.
Just wanted to welcome you to the Boston Red Sox organization.
We just want to welcome you to the family here in Worcester, and there's a lot of different charitable endeavors that we're going to be doing, programming initiatives, and we're excited to have you partake in it.
I know you've heard that old cliche that applies to any walk of life, including baseball, that when one door closes, another has an opportunity to open if you've built a good reputation for yourself. That you have done. Over the last 16 years that you've been involved in professional baseball, you've done nothing but put your best foot forward in any undertaking that they've asked you to do.
My husband is way too humble to admit it, but I truly think he's one of the best guys in baseball, on and off the field. Chad, you handle everything you are given just with so much grace, and your players and coaches gravitate towards the leader you are.
I think there's a lot of cool things here that the city has to offer, and we're excited to change lives one day at a time.
You've been given another chance. My suggestion to you would be to put your best foot forward on this one and create an environment where everyone around you has a chance to be better. Your players, your staff, the front office people that you interact with from day to day will be rooting, will be following, and we'll be hoping for the best.
As we are so fortunate to be part of the WooSox organization, I feel like they are to be considered so lucky as well to have you in their organization in that dugout leading them.
Wanted to welcome you and your family to Worcester. We're looking forward to having you here this year, a great 2022 season, and really looking forward to having you lead the charge and be with us this summer. See you in a little bit.
My friends Smiley Ball and Worcester want to let you know they're psyched to cheer for you this year, and they want to say welcome to Worcester.
We welcome you to the heart of the Commonwealth.
Welcome, Skip.
I'm sure we're all excited for the upcoming season, so I'm excited to get to work and let's win some ball games.
Good luck, Chad.
We hope you and your staff and your players have nothing but the best this 2022 season, and the three of us will be your guys' biggest cheerleaders along the way. We love you, best dad ever. We love you, best dad ever.
All right. Well, without further ado, it's time to welcome on to our panel here, the best dad ever, Chad. Welcome to our show. Are you with us, Chad?
I'm here. Can you hear me is the question.
I've got you. Hey, it's great to have you on with us. What was your reaction to that?
That's incredible. I thank you, first of all, for whoever. I know I'm trying to figure out who had their hand in that. I know Bill Wanless and Dan probably did, but that was really, really, really cool to see, my family on there and also some players and Dr. Steinberg and people from across the entire front office. Man, that was neat, and it fits the bill of how I felt up to this point, which is very welcomed.
Let me ask you, just to start things off and by way of introduction, you're from a baseball family. You're a lifer. What has family meant to you as you've moved throughout your career in baseball to get to this point?
Means everything. From a very young age, I was surrounded by, I've told the story a lot, that I can remember being my earliest memory 2 or 3 years old and dragging a wiffle ball bat around minor league fields. So I've been around it my entire life, and really, we had to stick together. There was times as you went through that, and my kids are learning that now, that, we're at different places all the time. We moved homes a lot, to different cities. And the one constant was family, my mom and dad, my brothers, and we were all very close. We still are to this day. And it's important to have that kind of support system around you.
Talk about your journey, if you would, Skipper, to get to the point where you've been entrusted by the Red Sox to manage their highest farm club.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. I'll go quickly through it, but I'll start in college. The movement, I actually grew up in Florida, in Sarasota. So I'm, familiar with Fort Myers, where we train and everything, which is great. Moved to California, which is where I did my college. I went to Pepperdine University for 3 years and was drafted as a junior out of Pepperdine, and started my professional career in 2006 as a member of the Texas Rangers, which is where I spent the bulk of my time as a player, going through their minor league system, and then was traded to the Rockies, spent a year in Colorado's system, signed as a free agent with the Royals, spent half a year, 3/4 of a year there. And a lot of the tail end of the Rangers, Rockies, Royals was, like you said, it was the AAA level where I could smell the coffee. I was trying like crazy to get there. And then I went to camp in 1 year with the Royals, or with the Baltimore Orioles. Didn't quite get out of camp with them. I finished my career with a couple years of independent ball as a player. During my playing career, felt strongly that as I was going through it, then whenever I was done, I was going to want to give back. I got so much to offer. I've been around the game for a long time, and I was like, I'm going to want to coach when I'm done. So I was very blessed and fortunate to get that opportunity that quickly and to jump straight into managing, which I did for 3 years, one at the low A level, 2 more years at the high A level. And then after that season, became the field coordinator for the Angels and spent the last 4 years as their minor league field coordinator. And that takes us to where we are right now, sitting on this call.
As you get ready to manage at the AAA level for the first time, there are so many different aspects of it. You're dealing with guys that are going to get promoted to the major leagues for the first time. You're going to deal with guys who have been optioned down, who may feel frustrated about that. There are so many other dynamics that go into the AAA level, as I'm sure you well know, having played there. How have you been preparing to deal with those different aspects of managing at this level of baseball?
Well, I think the best way to answer that is I feel like I've been preparing for that for 16 years in a lot of ways. And you said it best. I think the best preparation was, no, I haven't managed there, but baseball is baseball strategically, right? It doesn't matter if you're an A-ball, you still got to be prepared and all that. But you're right about the AAA level. And fortunately for me, I spent 4 years grinding away at that level, and I have been that player, that all the ones you just described. I was the one that was, really, really trying to make it and get to the big leagues for the first time and get that opportunity. Didn't quite get there. But to answer your question, the stresses, anxieties that come with that, when you've lived a dream that long, you're trying to achieve it. Been there, stayed up and stared at the ceiling till 3 a.m. because I couldn't get a hit for a week, and you feel it and you taste it, you're that close. So I've been there. I know what it's like. And I think I'll lean heavily on that experience as a player and the being the one that was trying to achieve what they're trying to achieve. And I'll have a lot of compassion for them as far as knowing what they're going through. I'm very compassionate, sensitive to the things that I know will be going through their head as they're trying to achieve it. And I'm just going to lean on that knowledge heavily.
All right. Yeah. Without further ado, I'm going to get to some of the questions that have been submitted by the people that are watching our panel. And let's go. I'm going to go right down the line, and we'll go a little rapid fire if we can, Chad. First one, this is kind of breaking news that came out over the last couple of weeks with Major League Baseball announcing that they are going to have some of the AAA teams use the quote unquote robot umpires this season. What are your thoughts? What do you think about that?
Well, I think my thoughts remain to be seen. I've never, I've seen maybe briefly a couple years ago when I was the field coordinator, and I visited the fall league, and I think they were using it for a game there. That particular game, it seemed to go okay. I think I probably have the same questions that a lot of people do as far as how quick is the turnaround from them telling him it's a strike to them actually calling it, and is there going to be glitches with it? Like, that's all stuff that I just don't know yet because I haven't seen it in action enough. Certainly I'm like most people, I'm a proponent of getting it right, whenever possible. And
all right, next question. This is an interesting one. If you could manage one player in the history of baseball, who would it be?
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, there's so many. I'm going to say, keeps popping in my head, I'm just going to go with it. Ken Griffey Jr. would have been cool. I remember as a young kid growing up, most kids, it's the kid, right? Like, I had his cleats and stuff. So like, that would have been first class dude. It seems like that'd have been a neat thing.
Maybe you can just give us a general rundown about how you're preparing to manage this roster, whatever it might look like in the end of the day.
I'm spending a lot of time in the evening. I have 2 kids, which everybody knows and just saw. It was amazing, but they keep me busy for sure. But then in the evenings, I sit down and we have a lot of internal stuff. The Red Sox have internal databases and information that they have that I'm learning, obviously coming from a different organization. We have some new internal stuff that we can find information. So I'm really combing through all of that stuff, and have a good idea of like who was on the roster last year, who potentially could be on the roster this year. Although you want to be careful with that too, because these guys, probably most of them are going to big league camp and they probably don't want to hear from the AAA manager right now. They want to try to make the big league team. And that's the goal. So I'm sensitive to that. I don't want to just assume guys are going to be in AAA. They might be big leaguers. So, but I am kind of all inclusively looking through the people we had or that could be there and just familiarizing myself as much as possible as to like who they are, as baseball players. I want to get to know them as people. That's really important. Actually, people first. From the pitching side, like what's his arm slot look like? What kind of metrics does he have? Is the ball on the ground? Does he put the ball on the ground a lot? Does he generate swing and miss? Do they chase something? Does he have a secondary pitch that's above average or elite? So things like that, on the hitting side, is this a power speed guy? Does he swing and miss a lot? Knowing that type of information. Does he put the ball in play a lot? Is this a hit and run candidate? Anything I can find right now, and really it's still kind of jumbled in there because it's easier when you put a face to what you're reading, and that'll come in spring training. But as much of that information as I can read right now, just to kind of get an idea of who these guys are as baseball players, that's kind of what I'm doing right now.